Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the Manchester United edition. Today I have with me Coach, and the reason I brought Coach up is because why not? We wanted to talk about Chelsea and United, and who else doesn't like Chelsea more than the United person, an Arsenal person? So that's why we brought Coach up today. How you doing today?
Yeah, man. Fuck Chelsea, man.
Oh, well, there you go. Not even 30 seconds in, and that's how we feel. So, what's your initial thoughts on the game, United-Chelsea game?
They've got the same sickness that Arsenal have in terms of Old Trafford. Yeah, they haven't won there in 12 years. While our record isn't as good, kind of thing, it's a tiny bit better, marginally better, basically. And it's always one of those games. I feel like in the top six, it's one of those games at Old Trafford. It's one of those games that if you miss it, you won't feel like you've done football disservice. However, the games at the Bridge between Man United and Chelsea are always crazy. So yeah, today's game I was not expecting anything. I wasn't expecting any sort of fireworks or anything like that at all. Especially with Rude coming in, Rude being, no disrespect to Ten Hag, but he just off rip, he's just smarter than Ten Hag straight away. So he's never gonna try and come with an approach that's gonna leave United open and exposed kind of thing. So I knew straight away Chelsea weren't gonna come there and try to batter United because it just wasn't gonna happen. And then on the flip side, Maresca isn't stupid. New manager bounce as well. He wasn't gonna let his team be fall victim to that. So yeah, very stalematey game that deserved the result. We got the result that the game deserved, I think.
I want to know something. I'm not sure if you know this, but I heard the commentator before the game say that this is the most drawn fixture in the Premier League history, and I was like, that makes sense. It really makes sense. They neutralize each other every time.
Yeah.
For me, the thing I noticed the most about this game is that I hated Ruben Amorim's turtleneck with his jacket.
Yeah.
It did. I wish what's it called? The menswear guy would come and talk about it. I didn't like the burgundy on like the navy or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It looked good. But other than that, I mean, it's just you kind of expect it, right? Like it's one of these things where United are flying high on passion. They're flying high on the high of getting Rude as their coach and whatever. But I didn't really expect much. And I also feel like, we'll talk about this later. There's some players in the squad that need to be dropped, to become rotation players, and 3, some of them need to get sold, period. But we'll get to that. The referee decisions, I feel like the referee called a pretty good game for the most part.
There was a tackle in the second half from what's his name, from Martinez, where Gary Neville's talking about, oh yeah, that could have been a red. I'm just like, pack it in, man. You're just a twat. Like it was a yellow card. We shouldn't even spend time talking about that. To be honest, but apart from that, I don't recall anything controversial. The penalty was absolutely a stonewaller.
It was.
There was the less we speak out, the rest the better. I feel like the two teams that played to this weekend, the two big teams that played this weekend, basically, that had referees in their games that we can't remember their names. That's a good thing. United versus Chelsea, Arsenal versus Newcastle. I don't know either of these refs. I couldn't tell you who ref today, basically. So, I simply do not care, and nobody should ever.
I will tell you one thing that was controversial. You remember in the first half, Rashford went down he went down the first half past, Old Trafford's that drop off, right?
Yeah.
He went off. That was a penalty.
I honestly do not recall that. Let me just be very frank here. I watched all of this game, but parts of the second half I fell asleep for because it was so boring. Let me just say that off rip. So guys, just forgive me for that. And I might have missed that part when Rashford went off, when I might have went to go grab some water or something.
I forgot who was the center back. It might have been Colwill or who's the other center back they were playing today? It's Colwill or
Fofana.
One of those two came out studs up on Rashford's ankle in the first half, and I saw it live, and I was like, "That's a penalty." And I saw the replay again. It's like, "That's a definitely."
Did it go to VAR? Because I do not recall that. No one in my group chat is talking about that as well. So
go to VAR, and that's what I'm saying. Is just like we've become so desensitized to referees' nonsense that we're just letting things go, and it's like that was an actual foul. But I'm not splitting hairs here. It is what it is. It's just one of those things that It happens. I expect referees not to call everything. It's one of those bang bang plays.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the manager approaches. For those who don't know, Maresca and Ruud van Nistelrooy obviously gave each other an embrace before the game because they were teammates. They were teammates at Malaga in 2011, 2012, that team that reached fourth. And Solomon Rondon was the top scorer, and then Isco was there as well. That team,
Mm-hmm.
they were teammates there. But they approached the game. I think they both approached the game cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
They both set up both in the 4-2-3-1. You noticed something about Cole Palmer, which you can get to in a little bit. But, when I saw the 4-2-3-1, I just like, it's boilerplate. But I knew eventually when they said Rashford started on the left, I was like, he's going to switch to the right because Garnacho gets away with a lot. He gets away with a lot. And we'll get into that. But, yeah.
I think it's not controversial for me to say that Chelsea have a better midfield than United. Even though I don't think Chelsea midfield is particularly great. I feel like a lot of the heavy lifting is done by Caicedo. Caicedo's been fantastic this season, but I'm hearing shouts of best midfield in the league. Let's take a fucking break, guys. Like, let's just not. He's not the best midfielder. There's not been any point in his career where he's been close to being the best midfielder in the league. Like, so let's just, he's playing incredibly well and he's a very good footballer. Absolutely, like top footballer. But let's not take the piss. But I look at how Maresca set up his team. And his team, to me, seems like they want to be aggressive, but they also want to they don't want to concede territory. And they've got the right profiles there, and they've got the right difference makers, especially through the center of the pitch in Cole Palmer, basically. Whereas when I look at United, you've got Ugarte and Casemiro. Casemiro, we know from time, like United fans have wanted this guy sold for like 2 years at this point. I want to say. And then Ugarte is... Can I call him a footballer?
No, he would be what Vince McMahon was signing in the 90s and 2000s. He's a grappler.
So he's a jobber. Okay, cool. So
he's a grappler.
Yeah, a jobber. Yeah, a jobber. Yeah, Chelsea. So okay, cool. So and that's what
Eddie Guerrero.
Pardon, say?
He's been attacking with Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, so yeah. To be honest, Chavo was okay. No, I think Chavo sucked as well, man. To be fair, but to be honest, I compare that to Chelsea, obviously with Bruno in the midfield as well, and I just feel like there is a clear difference in what both teams could achieve on a day, basically. Cole Palmer loves to do, shall I say, a lot of his good work playing in the right half space kind of thing, and off rip today, he was all up in the left half space, dancing the music videos and shit, just doing whatever he wanted there, kind of thing. And it kind of like took me by surprise, and I realized, oh, Casemiro is playing on that side, so he obviously fancies his chances against Casemiro. Whereas Ugarte is, I'm not saying he's an athletic monster, but he's way more athletic than Casemiro kind of thing. Cole Palmer is smart enough to recognize that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that kind of it weakened Chelsea's attack basically because of that, because of the angles being found there. Like Cole Palmer could literally only do one thing playing on that side. So it kind of cancels each other out, but he did get a little bit of joy there. With United, however, though, I did notice there were still gaps. There was still Chelsea were able to still run through the midfield, through one pass or one dribble kind of thing. And I know obviously Ruben Amorim didn't want that to happen, but I feel like players still have muscle memory of Ten Hag. So you set them up in a certain way, and they're still going to do the fuck shit, basically. But yeah, I think getting help in midfield, Mazraoui did help. Mazraoui's technical level, first of all, he's better. He's better technically than pretty much all of Man United's midfielders.
Yes.
No disrespect. So that helped a little bit. He's very, very, in terms of his distances as well. He knows when receiving the ball, which direction to go in, like to turn out of pressure, kind of thing, and just to play the simple pass. And that's something that Ugarte could learn for sure. Like, I'm trying to dance around saying it, but Ugarte is not it, guys. And this is, take it from me, I wanted him probably 2.5 years ago, and I quickly realized that actually, no, I was wrong. And yeah, I'm happy he's at United because he sucks, basically. So,
I mean, the one thing that I noticed about Gate, and obviously like we're older than most, especially our football knowledge, is like I think about Luis Enrique, very good player. He played at obviously Real Madrid and Barcelona. You don't play at both those teams and be rubbish at football. So I could only imagine the first day of training he saw Gatti at PSG and said, "Muy moderno." I know he spoke Yoruba. Even though he speaks Spanish, I know he spoke Yoruba because that's not.
I mean, what's funny is I remember like a lot of people getting gassed off his quote when he said, "Oh, when we don't have the ball, it's a fight, and when we do, it's a football match." I was like, yeah, that sounds good in theory, but big man, you literally play like you're at SummerSlam. That's how you play football, bro. So that's terrifying to me, at least. But yeah, like just looking at the genuine composition of Man United's midfield, I just couldn't see how they would, especially at home, they were going to sustain any sort of pressure. I just couldn't see how that would happen. Like Ugarte is a possession black hole. Like he's just gonna give it away every other chance he gets. And Bruno, full credit to him, while he wasn't fantastic today, he recognized that. Okay, guys, I actually have to take my ADHD pills today because all of us can't be maniacs.
Yeah.
Like somebody has to be the voice of reason here. But yeah.
It's funny because United's midfield is so bad. Like you look at the bench and like I love Jace Fitzgerald. I think he's up next, but you can't play Jace Fitzgerald and Jack Fletcher in this sort of game. They'll get outran and their confidence be ruined for the rest of their life. That's not what you put these kids in. And United, for their own sake, and obviously Sekou Kone is one of these guys that's been highly rated. He just played for 21s yesterday. United really, really need to figure out how to get some midfield help immediately because that midfield is lacking. And even the wings, and we're going to get to Garnacho right now, actually. Like, I don't know how Garnacho constantly gets week in and week out, like 90 minutes. You can see he has strapping on his knee. Maybe Rashford has a problem we don't know about where he doesn't have to play, but bro, you have to. I cannot take another full 90 of Garnacho. He can't shoot. Like his sort of shooting and his sort of like thing is the sort of thing that the NRA would love. The NRA would love that lack of shooting because they would hate it actually because they would actually be like, we're going to lobby against this nonsense. Yeah. That's what they're going to do. But he can't finish left foot, right foot. There was so many chances today where I wish Rashford got the end of those chances. You know, it's frustrating to see Garnacho because he does have talent. Like he does have talent, but where's the talent going to take him? I feel like he's been getting away with a lot of stuff, Garnacho. Like he's been getting away with a lot. And even when you see Ahmad play, like Ahmad will show up a little, show his little cameos. You can see there's a player in there. They should give Ahmad a little bit more time versus the way they give Garnacho time. And even when I look at our academy, we got kids named Sam Mather, Ethan Ennis, and I would love to see them get platform a little bit more because they all grew up together.
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to see any academy players at United right now because the environment is way too toxic and way too like you can't. The class of 92 is quite literally once a lifetime sort of thing. It's not gonna. And if you have to remember, so the class of 92 shit as well. It was like Steve Bruce was there, Roy Keane was there,
Pallister.
Before you say Pallister,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
Dennis Irwin was there.
Exactly, Dennis Irwin, like
Eric Cantona.
Cantona was supplemented by some of the best players in the country. So it's United just don't have at this current moment like. You compare those quality of those players to these quality players now, it's not the same thing. But I will say in regards to Garnacho, I understand why he plays because he's got the memory of a goldfish. And as a forward, you need that. He misses tons of chances and he absolutely doesn't care. And it's an admirable quality. Genuinely is an admirable quality. It's just frustrating for the team and for his teammates because there doesn't seem to be that what do you call it? He doesn't seem to take care. He doesn't seem to like. He assumes he'll get another chance, which he obviously will kind of thing, and he plays that way. He doesn't play like, oh shit, this is the only chance I'm going to get, so let me make sure I bury it kind of thing. He's like, oh, another one will come along kind of thing. United don't create shit tons of chances, but obviously because of his style of playing, the fact that he's pacey, he's going to get chances, right? And it's just that level of taking care and just actually being, I suppose, striking the ball like you mean it, or just making sure that you're hitting the target and shit like that. And it's just, there's definitely a lack of care there, I think, for sure, man. But
it's so frustrating to watch because Garnacho does have the talent and he does show from time to time he can strike a ball, but more times than not, man, it's one of those things is like, dude, just get it together. And he's a young kid. He's 19, 20 years old. He can't put too much pressure. But like you said, the environment United right now is not the best. And I just don't know what to do with Garnacho, man. Like that's just my thing is like, what do you do with a kid like this who obviously has the talent, but the application is not there?
So I've noticed that obviously Rashford's been started on the right a lot more recently, and I hear it, understand it. I personally have long since accepted that Rashford is just going to be an end product merchant. Basically, we're not gonna don't expect anything else from him. Kind of, for him playing on the right is fine. It's a simplified game, finish or cross, simple as that's fine, right? But it's clear to me that he's better than Garnacho on the left, and Rashford is going to be 27 soon. I want to say.
He just turned 27 on Halloween.
There we go. He just turned 27. So this is it. Rashford should be your flagship franchise attacker, not being played out of position. And if that's happening at 27, to me, something has gone horribly wrong. Absolutely horribly wrong. Like, Rashford shouldn't be. I feel like I said this even when I was doing these pods. Like, Rashford shouldn't be moved out of position for anybody in that attack. He just shouldn't. And
Bro, at Garnacho's age, Rashford is moved around a lot.
yeah,
He gets a lot of leeway, Garnacho does.
yeah.
And I really, really don't know what's going on at Old Trafford, but to see Rashford, the most senior player on the team outside of Bruno, because Rashford's been there forever, right?
Yeah.
For him to get pushed around like that, something is deeply wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not particularly a fan of that. But on Van Nistelrooy, I kind of feel like he's not trying to rock the boat a bit too much, which is fair enough, because obviously he knows he's not the coach or anything. But I would just do a Lee Carsley and let's do shit for the fuck of it now, because I know I don't have I haven't got the job kind of thing. I'm I don't know what the future holds. So let me have some fun. Let me play Onana in midfield, because
bro, he put Lindelof at midfield today.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, a bit more of that. Legit, a bit more of that. Throw Mazwari in there as well. Why not? See what the fuck happen. You legit never know, kind of thing. Let's have some fun with it, man. Like,
I mean, he's got 2 more games against Pal on Thursday and then Leicester on Sunday. So you know
Leicester's perfect. He just they smoke them 5-2. Literally, go and put. In fact, yeah, maybe throw some academy kids in there. Like, legit, just throw them all in there. Like, So, but yeah, I'm just not. I'm not convinced with the fact that United have spent all this money still, and we're still talking about midfields.
Bro, it's insane. That midfield is a sieve.
Yeah, we're still talking about midfield. Like, nothing is going to move forward at United until they really, really be honest and address how badly they need a makeover. Because I don't think there'd be a single United fan on earth that are complaining if they say, do you know what? We're not spending any money on our attack or any big money on our defense kind of thing. We're gutting our entire midfield over the next 3 windows, basically. We're taking 2 players out, bringing 2 players in every window until for the next 3 windows kind of thing. Let's start in January. No United fans are going to complain, because it's obvious it needs open heart surgery, and it's been obvious forever. But it's been super duper obvious since Ten Hag took over, basically. But it's been a problem forever, So,
bro, I mean, I was complaining about Man Utd's midfield in 2008. I was 18. We're doing this again in 2024.
Yeah,
it's literally been an eyesore for nearly 2 decades. It's bad in that midfield, and they get the wrong profiles over and over and over. It's like,
I mean, they had one. I mean, you had one. I mean, you had him, and then you let him go for free, and then you brought him back for like 100 million or whatever, and whatever the fuck happened there. But that's when you're talking about not only just quality of player, the actual profile as well matters. Being able to pass the ball off both feet, be able to receive it in pretty much any fashion, being able to not be selfish with it, being able to carry the ball as well. He can do all those things, right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Paul Pogba. Let me just be clear. He's able to do all those things, right? And then what happens? United, I kind of feel like United are a club more than any other that actually listen to the media bullshit. And by the end of it, him leaving was the fact that United probably didn't value him the way he should have been valued. Paul Pogba should still be at United now, the franchise midfielder.
100%. I mean, And for me, I put a hard stop in
Yeah.
this summer, right? I feel like everything that happened prior to this summer,
Mm.
all United bullshit. I think, and we'll talk about this too towards the end. I'm really giving Ineos time, right?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
I feel a lot of people don't know how bad England was, right? Like, and I'm not saying England like bad, but like
Mm-hmm.
England did not have an identity the way they have an identity now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say this and I've said this on the main podcast. I'll say it again. I don't think a country outside of France has
Mm-hmm.
more talent than England. I truly believe that, and that's by design. And you know who
Mm-hmm.
designed that England? And I'm gonna say it again. You know who designed England, right? It's
Yeah.
Dan Ashworth.
Yeah.
And you gave Dan Ashworth enough time for him to build the England DNA. Where when he left, all it is now is just plug and play. And that's how I see with Ineos and United. Is
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, they took their time trying to figure out the manager situation, but they did it fast.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we want to talk about Ruben. We'll talk about it towards the end. But I'll connect that later. But let's talk about Xerxes and Rasmus because I don't know, man. I'm looking very, very annoyed with them, but I'm trying to give them grace. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to give them grace, but they both need a manager who can get the best out of them. They need that immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we can go backwards if you like. So we'll talk about Xerxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went through on goal and he was running in quicksand.
Yes.
If that was Rasmus going through on goal, he gets a shot off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a problem there. So automatically, if Xerxes is going to be a main striker, then there is no way on planet Earth that you can play. That I personally think you can play with Ahmad starting with Garnacho or Rashford. It has to be Xerxes, Garnacho, Rashford to me because you or else you're down to one pacey player in your attacking line straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. The second issue is I generally don't feel like you're gonna get anything substantial from him goals wise. Like I'm not casting him out or saying he's a flop or anything like that, but he should probably start like learning Brazilian and looking at Firmino tapes, like for real, because that's not a goal scorer.
No.
That's not, and he's obviously a really good footballer, but that's not a goal scorer to me at all. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Xerxes. Please change my mind. Feel free to change my mind, but yeah, that's where I'm at with him, man.
I'm gonna say something really mean about Xerxes.
Okay.
I think that, and I love the kid. I think it's time for him to relearn Serie A. I think that he would be much better off in Milan. I think
Mm.
United should just cash in next summer and go get another type of striker. I think that
Mhm.
they tried an experiment, they tried something new, something with that, and I think that Josh is a good player, but I just don't think he's cut out for the Premier League. I think the Premier League is a whole nother kettle of fish, and that
Mhm.
goes for manager, it goes for players. It's a hard league to play in, bro. Like
Mhm.
you're playing against a bunch of physical monsters. Like look at Saicedo running around today like he's Pop. And we
Mhm.
haven't even talked about Chelsea today, and I don't really feel like talking about Chelsea. But credit to Saicedo, that man was running around like he was Pac all day today. Reece James didn't even get taken off for injury; he's healthy. So this is a league where
Mhm.
you're playing against a bunch of physical, absolute monsters week in and week out. So it's unfortunate. Rasmus, on the other hand, he has the tools, but I just hope whatever Ruben Amorim did to Yerkes, I hope
Yeah.
he does that to him
Yeah.
because the tools are there. It's just he's not putting it all together. He's not putting it all together. He did get that penalty though, and that was a beautiful ball from Casemiro. But
Yeah.
it's frustrating watching Xerxes and Rasmus because it's just like this is a club who, again, you're seeing Ruben Van Nistelrooy scored 150 goals for United. These are the sort of strikers United used to have, and
Mhm.
having these strikers who are just like, yo, this is not
So,
it.
so in regards to Hoyland, again, Hoyland's another one where, again, now you're changing the composition of your attack to accommodate him now. So, again, Hoyland plays, then yes, Ahmad starts for me. Absolutely. Like, Hoyland plays, Ahmad has to start. And then, obviously, to me, Rashford is infinitely better than Garnacho. So, yeah, he starts as well. So, straight away, that makes more sense to me now, kind of thing. My issue is who gets more goals? Does Hoyland get more goals being your main number 9 with Ahmad playing? Or does Rashford get more goals with Xerxes facilitating? You see what I'm saying? And it's a good problem to have in the sense that you can figure that shit out and you can always have a different way of playing kind of thing. But genuinely speaking, I couldn't tell you what I'd prefer. I just know that I love Ahmad as a footballer and I think he's stupidly talented. And he hasn't signed a new contract yet, has he?
No, United can extend it for a year though. They have that in their thing.
Interesting.
Please don't
Interesting.
do
So,
that.
you guys that are listening audioly, I'm just stroking my, majestic beard right now, thinking about, potentially where Ahmad could go. London's is a nice city, just
Yeah.
especially North London. But yeah, no,
But
but
like,
jokes aside.
what else is a nice city? Hell, that's where you can go to. You can go to hell. No, let's talk about Ruben Amorim. First of
Yep.
all, what do you feel about him? Like, just your first initial thoughts on him as a manager, because you
Uh,
played with him before and Arsenal have. So, how do you feel
yeah,
about him?
I mean, like, let me just keep it a buck. I don't like Portuguese managers. I never have. Like, no, genuinely, I never have. I feel like they're very, very, they're too cynical for my liking. Like,
Yeah.
way too cynical for my liking. And it's not just this goes back further than Conceição that's support. I'm talking about from Mourinho. Like, the state of football today, we can attribute to Mourinho and Pep kind of thing. But I feel like Mourinho is probably the patient zero of it all because of how self-serving and how cynical he is, kind of thing. That we don't have a 4-4-2 the way it should be because of that man, by the way, guys. So you guys talking about, oh yeah, Barkley's man, blame that guy, blame him, right? Blame him for all the bullshit, all these coaches that will be coaching these small clubs, kind of thing, trying to impart their, what do you call it, their philosophy on it, and not actually try to help the players that are there, kind of thing. They're trying to build their own CV. Like, that all started from Mourinho, like, and whatever else the board man came afterwards. Cool. And he's not obviously innocent in this, but Amorim himself, look, I can't see a world where he comes there and doesn't maintain his 3-4-3 and his 3-1-6 in possession. I can't see a world where he doesn't do that. What he might do initially is he might start with a foot at the back kind of thing, just to kind of get some reps and whatever. But there's no way in hell he's going to deviate from his philosophy. So yeah, I think it's time for Malacia to learn wing back.
I was watching what's the guy from Bournemouth, their left wing back, their left back. Oh, am I forgetting his name?
From Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh
Do you know,
man,
for some reason I think of the guy
got 2 assists. Yeah,
Leaf Davis. I think of Leaf Davis from Ipswich, but it's not him, obviously.
Milos Kukaris.
That's the one, yeah.
I saw him yesterday, and the first thing that came to my mind was, buddy, you got to learn 3-4-3 because that boy is special.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Amorim, I've done my own, there's an episode on YouTube where I talked about Amorim. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic, right? It's more so like, prove to me that you are this talented 39-year-old manager everyone's raving about. Like, prove to me. I'm tired of giving United managers grace. Like, I want you to earn this trust, right? Like, I want you to kind of be the coach that says, okay, this is why I'm here and this is why I'm here. Because they changed his title. He's no longer he's
head coach. Yeah.
head coach. Yeah, and that's what United have need for a very long time is actual structure. So I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic where you're not trying to get yourself too high and too over the top with as far as the manager. So there's some pieces for him to work with, and he also does a lot of really good stuff with the academy. Like I'm not sure if he was Giovanni Quenda on Sporting. He's 17-year-old kid. He looks like he should be in a music video with Chief Keef, but that's neither here nor there. But gave the 17-year-old kid a platform, and the kid is doing well. And Sporting has a really good academy, so I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with United because he's gonna work like he's never worked before. There's a lot of work to be done at this club, a lot of work. So we didn't even talk about Chelsea today, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, because listen, man, Chelsea don't matter, man. We're gonna smoke them next week as well. So fuck them, man. Fuck Chelsea, man. No, but for real, I think just on Chelsea in general, Chelsea are on an upward trajectory. Like all jokes aside, they're on an upward trajectory. I just still look at their defense and think there is so much, and I mean so much improvement they need to do there.
Yeah.
Not just these players need to get better. No, I think if I'm looking at their entire defense, I'm quite literally only keeping Fofana. Everybody else can literally go, and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. Like that's my takeaway from them. So any great team, especially the Chelsea teams that bought every Chelsea team, shall I say, that's had any success has bought their success in the last 20 odd years. Any successful Chelsea team has had a solid defense and solid defenders, and I look at all the defenders, I think, so what? Basically, like there's nothing there for me to be
And
worried about. That's all.
even some of their players that let go are still balling out. Like
Yeah,
look at Olalua.
yeah,
Like that goal he scored. We'll talk about it on the weekend review, but Ola Aino, for example, like they
yeah.
let a lot of
Oh
go,
gosh,
but
although I know it's just one of my favorite footballers, man. But yeah,
yeah,
but it's true, man. Like, yeah, I'm not until the defense really starts, until they start making serious signings in defense. Yeah, there's nothing there to worry about. However, in their attack, and it's funny, all three of their attacking midfielders behind Jackson today, they were all left-footed, which I think is pretty cool. If I'm being honest, I think that's pretty cool. And they've got genuine pace. Like they brought Modric off the bench and kept Neto on. Is that the fastest wing pairing in the league? It probably is.
yeah,
It
frightening.
it probably is. And obviously Madueke, I love Madueke. Like I felt like the atmosphere last year at Chelsea probably meant he could have sunk, but he's the first name on the team sheet for that right wing spot. I'm very, very happy for him. Genuinely, I am. And obviously Cole Palmer, man. Like special talent. But yeah, that's too much glazing on Chelsea, man. Fuck Chelsea, man.
Yeah, like I said, Saicedo's fun. But listen, United, I'm giving Ruben Amorim a mulligan because he's just there until Amorim comes onto November 11th, whenever he comes in. So listen, when this was a draw, I felt it was a draw. It was going to be a draw. That's how United and Chelsea do. So, got anything else you to add before we head out of here?
Yeah, just like, share, subscribe. I can't stress this enough, guys. Fuck Chelsea, man. Seriously. And yeah,
Who's
peace.
more hateful for you, Chelsea or Jason Tyndall?
Yeah, man.
Cool. And that's what we're gonna. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tosin. This is Coach. We're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off.